Hi, I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and I'm traveling today. That's why you've got the backdrop that you have instead of the usual one. But I still want to keep up with doing video for you because I believe job hunting doesn't have to be as hard, difficult, painful, or take as long as it does. It's just as a different skill set to finding a job than doing a job. And today's question is, if you're so good, why are you unemployed? Talk about getting punched in the mouth. Uh, you're unemployed. You know, firms throwing that back in your face is the inherent. It's the bias of believing that people get fired for incompetence when most of the time people are fired for no fault of their own. They're caught in economic circumstances, and I think there's a couple of ways to approach answering the question. Number one is, I survived 4 rounds, 5 rounds, whatever the number is. And eventually, you know, we had fewer wagons, and eventually I got shot. The reality is people are not always fired for incompetence, and you throw that back in their face. They're fired for economic circumstances, which kind of leads to the second thing, which is to just directly say, the assumption in the question is that the people who make decisions about layoffs are the ones who actually know the performance of the work, which in organizations that are large like mine, the decisions are made 22 levels up from me, and they're passed down basically saying eliminate 15 people in a 17-person group, and the result winds up being, guess what? I'm not working anymore. Another way of doing this is to pause for a second and with heart and sincerity say to them, notice how I pause there? Because you don't want to give them the idea that you're being anything less than sincere. You pause for a second and you say, it's a hard question for me to answer because I've always been told that my work has been extremely good. Great reviews, great ratings, not an iota of criticism. I've really been a big performer for my group and for my organization. But I got let go. And a lot of other people were let go at the same time as me. I'm not dead wood, if that's what your question is. If that's the assumption to your question. We live in times where, and then, for bad economic times, you talk about how, it's a time where a lot of people are let go because of reasons that have nothing to do with them. It's about the survival of the organization. Notice, you're speaking with sincerity. You're speaking with a lot of heart and trying to demonstrate that to folks so that they get the idea that you're being truthful. You change your voice, you soften it a little bit, you pause, breaking eye contact before circling back. I happen to like the first one in particular, the first two actually in particular, because for a lot of people, they need to get that rebuttal put back to them. It's not defensiveness, it's the truth. Most organizations cut people down. It has nothing to do with the individual performer. It has everything to do with the health and viability of that firm. And no one who's making a decision knows anything about your work, but they're chopping trees in a forest and you happen to be in the way. I'm Jeff Altman. Hope you found this helpful. If you're interested in my coaching, you connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/IN/the Big Game Hunter. Mention that you saw the video because I like knowing I'm helping some folks. Once we're connected, let me know that you're interested in coaching. We'll schedule time for a free discovery call. Also want to mention, I've got a ton more at my website, which is thebiggamehunter.us. Go over to the site, go exploring. There's a lot there that'll help you. Hope you have a great day and take care.